The whole disproportionality of it, the whole draconian nature of these sentencing laws hit me like a ton of bricks. I did some reading. I read an article in Rolling Stone magazine, which featured the work of this organization called Families Against Mandatory Minimums, FAMM.org. And I got in touch with them and joined their board. And then soon after that, learned about the work of the Innocence Project through something I saw on TV, and went down to their offices sort of unannounced, just walked in, and it was two guys in a room, the two founders, Barry Scheck and Peter Neufeld, were sitting there in a room with a briefcase, a phone, and a dream. And I said, I'm your guy. I'll do whatever you need, and I'll do more than that. And I'm in. That was a long time ago. That was in the early to mid-'90s.
You talk about this as draconian. We've talked about this before, but I want to talk about it a little bit more, because when you enter the court system as a guy like you're describing, he was how old at the time?
31 or 32, and he had been in for 8+ years already. So I guess he was in his early 20s when he was arrested.
Yeah, so this guy's in his early 20s. And I think this is really prominent for people that don't have education or income. My point is, you go into the court system and the whole thing is stacked up to, number one, intimidate you, and number two, violate the rights that you're actually told that you're going to get. Think about it. If you're a kid, particularly a nonviolent first offender, you walk in there and what do you see? Well, the judge is elevated. He's up on a bench. He's got flags on both sides of him. He's got a big seal behind him. Everything looks super official.
Robe. He's got a robe.
Yeah, he's in the robe, and he's sitting up looking down. He's got armed guards on either side of him. They call them bailiffs, but they're armed guards, and you can find out exactly how armed they are if you do something that they don't like. Then the prosecutor comes in, and he's in that court every day. So he knows that judge. They're on a first-name basis, and the court reporter is on a first-name basis with everybody. Then you come in.
And the judge probably used to be a prosecutor, because we know that about 80% of judges in America are former prosecutors.
Of course. And they're all wearing suits, and they can stand, but you remain seated. And then they bring you up if you testify, which most of the time they tell you not to do because they think you're going to be an idiot. And in a lot of cases, they probably might be better off to not testify. But you're sitting down, and they start talking about your life. The lawyers are all in power suits. They're standing up, walking around, and you're sitting there like, what the hell? So the most important time of your life is in a very foreign setting. And I always say, if you're going to have a battle and you're going to have any chance of winning, you need to pick your battles. You need to pick your battlefield. You need to pick the time. You need to pick the circumstance. You get to do none of that in this situation.